What's going on, guys? Nito17 here, and today I'm going to be talking about just some updated information that we've gotten over the last few days. News cycle's been kind of dry, right? We haven't had a whole lot to talk about, but one of the more recent things that's come up in terms of conversation have been for the Let's Go Pokemon games are Mega Evolutions. So when the initial announcement was made for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, there were a lot of questions. There were a lot of news outlets asking a bunch of questions, and it really actually is kind of hard to find this stuff on the internet because there's just so many people, so many news outlets reporting on this stuff, and some of it being different, some of it being just related to certain things. So it's kind of hard finding and combing through all this stuff. But what I wanted to talk about really was just, this is like an update video, okay? So this isn't anything in particular, but the topic of conversation is 75% Mega Evolutions. So in the original press release for the Pokemon Let's Go games, I have Newsweek pulled up here. They're one of the ones that I could actually find that that reported on the quote. But I had originally said in the tweet that Junichi Masuda himself had tweeted that Mega Evolutions and Z moves would be something that was discussed later on, and I used some paraphrasing on there. So if Junichi Masuda wasn't the one to say this, then I apologize for referencing him as the source of information. It may have been Mr. Ishihara. It was one of them too, right? So right here you can see Z moves and Mega Evolutions are unconfirmed but information in the future. So the reason why that's important is because a lot of people right now are kind of questioning, is Mega Evolution something that was ever even talked about, and is it something that's for sure coming back? Is it not coming back? What about Z moves and all this type of stuff? So we can make the assumption that based on when the press release came out and this information was provided, that Z moves and Mega Evolutions more than likely will be coming back or making some type of appearance in some aspect or some way. And the reason I say that is because for other bits of information that were already ruled out, for example, the biggest one being Johto not being explorable. We will not be able to travel to Johto in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. That was something that was ruled out by Masuda right away. He simply just said no. They asked him, they said no. If Mega Evolutions and Z moves were along the same lines of something being that clear and something being just something completely blasphemous when it came to these being inputted in these games, then he would have said the same thing. So there's a variety of things, but Z moves and Mega Evolutions in particular have not been ruled out, nor have they been confirmed, but they're definitely leaning on the side of appearing in these games based on the fact that Masuda himself or Mr. Ishihara himself did not shut those claims down immediately. So I wanted to show you guys this and use this as a basis for why I'm going to get into some further information about Mega Evolutions. Now, I know a lot of people have been talking about just the concept of Mega Evolutions returning, and I'm not really sure based off of what. It may have been the information I'm providing, or it may have been what I'm about to show you now. So what I'm about to show you now is PokeShopper, one of my favorite guys to quote and one of my favorite guys to refer to when it comes to news, because his information tells us really what we need to know moving forward and in the past as well. So PokeShopper update. Takara Tomy figurine list publication indicates Mega Charizard X, Y, Mega Venusaur, and Mega Blastoise are all to be released this November. We are currently investigating further listings also. So really, the investigating further listings also would mean, you know, like Mega Gengar, Mega Mewtwo, Mega Beedrill. Are these going to be other figures, or is it just going to be the starter figures that are included? And are they going to be the only ones exclusive when this Takara Tomy figure list publication comes out? Now, for those of you who may not know, excuse me, if you don't know who PokeShopper is, or Paul Ryan, he runs a merchandise website. And in the past, information that he has had based on merchandise eventually leads us to game news and information, because the marketing cycle for the toys and the anime and things like that a lot of the times are indicative of information for the games. Not so much the anime, but definitely for merchandise. So with what we just covered, you know, Junichi Masuda and Mr. Ishihara saying, you know, hey or nay on Mega Evolutions and Z moves, this kind of furthers my point in saying, or the idea that Mega Evolutions will be coming back. I definitely see it as being a huge possibility and a very likely scenario based on the fact there are quite a few Cantonian Pokemon that had Mega Evolutions. I just named a few. I can't really think of them all right now, but there are definitely a variety just with the starters of Mewtwo alone. I mean, Mewtwo had 2, Charizard had 2, Blastoise and Venusaur got the snub on that, but those are just some short listings, and you guys can comment in the comment section below on those that actually did have Mega Evolutions that were Kantonian Pokemon. But I mean, it makes complete sense because when we have these remake type games, or reimagining type games, we've never had one really in this aspect. I guess you could say that with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were direct remakes. This is not a direct remake, but they're very comparable in the idea that the basic concept of the original games are being implemented in these new games, this time being Pokemon Yellow as opposed to the original Ruby and Sapphire games. So, I mean, for me, they could do some cool things, right? Because when you have the Mega Evolution concept, you have the whole motion thing, right? So they could incorporate some type of really cool motion control to allow you to use Mega Evolutions, and that's how they kind of incorporate that, because the Let's Go is all motion controls, right? Boom, you throw it, and that's kind of the appealing, and that's taking advantage of the Nintendo Switch's capabilities as a console. And they also take advantage of it as a handheld device too, having the gyro controls, your console, and you flip it up, and that's how you catch Pokemon. So they're maximizing the ability of the Nintendo Switch and the capabilities of it to the fullest extent. So, and it's the same thing with Z-Moves. Z-Moves are going to be interesting. I see them coming back as well, like I said, based on the fact that it hasn't been denied and it hasn't been confirmed, and the reasoning for that is because probably in October we're going to get a press release for Mega Evolutions. It may be sooner. It may be, if the merchandise is coming out in November, it could be next month. It could be this month. I think we're going to still get some premature information this month. I don't think we're going to get anything along the lines of this. I think that'll be from more September, October. Because guys, if you think about it, September, October, game's here. Okay, so Pokemon Company, they don't have a whole lot of time to market this stuff. Now they could start hammering us with information like every 2 weeks like they did with Sun and Moon, which will be awesome. So that may be something to do. But nonetheless, Z-Moves I see being a little less likely, only because the culture for Z-Moves was strongly influenced by the environment in Hawaii. Hawaii, the culture there, they interpret many dances and many types of things in Hawaii with dances as part of their culture. Kanto isn't like that. So trying to incorporate Z-Moves into Kanto would be kind of hard to explain because it's not something that makes a whole lot of sense with Kanto. Kanto is a good mixture of mountains, cities, and water. It's a really good balance. Alola was all water, all islands, very tropical, and fit Hawaii's culture. So Z-Moves would be something that I see would be kind of hard to explain as part of the story. But if it's just a post-game gimmick that they have in these games, then that's obviously more than likely the case. But I don't really know how they're going to incorporate it in saying, here's what Z-Moves are, and here's how Kanto grabbed a hold of it, because Kanto and Alola are very far away in distance, and their cultures are so different. So I'll be interested to see if Z-Moves, when and if they are implemented in these games, how they're going to explain it, because that'll be very interesting. Megas is very simple. If you guys don't remember, in the Pokemon Origins, I mean, Mega Evolution based on that originated in Kanto. Mr. Fuji had the Mega Evolution Stone, and he gave it to Red and said, you'll know when they use these. These stones have very great power. They just need to be awakened. And he gave them to Red, and then Red eventually at the end when he fought Mewtwo, his Charizard ended up evolving into Mega Charizard X. And again, this all happened in Kanto. So Mega Evolutions definitely make a lot of sense. And with this game being heavily based off of or inspired by Pokemon Yellow, it definitely makes sense from a storytelling perspective for it to be based very much so on the anime as Pokemon Yellow was, as well as implementing some other ideas maybe from Pokemon Origins or Pokemon Generations and the ideas that they present in these games, like Mega Evolution and the history behind it. Because as we all know, Pokemon X and Y gave us the origin of Mega Evolution 3,000 years ago. This is something that was studied in the Kalos region. This was something that's been studying. Professor Sycamore studied, his entire career. So that's really all that I have. There isn't really a whole lot going on. I did want to touch on really quickly, there's been a stir in the community about walking animations. Yes, we're to the point where walking animations is something that is a big debacle. in the community. I just think it's hilarious because, oh, don't get copyright struck. Hold on a second. Let me get this audio and stuff. Okay, audio. All right, pause it. So this is a clip that the Pokemon Japanese Twitter account posted, a clip of Venusaur following the trainer in Let's Go. So this is causing controversy because Venusaur's hopping like a frog. And a lot of people are like, this is stupid. Venusaur's not a frog. Why is he running like that? Dude, Venusaur's legs are like this long. Like, how else would you expect him to run? Like, how would he keep up with the trainer? Like, how do you expect him to move? Do you want him to do, like, skidding his feet along? Like, how the hell would you expect him to move? And all this time, really, Venusaur is a frog Pokemon. The basis of its name means frog. So, Venusaur has always been a frog. Okay, so some people have said that they've considered Venusaur a dinosaur because of the word "saur" in its name, and that assumption was made based off the literal aspects and some of the other Pokemon names like Goldeen, Goldfish, Blastoise, Turtoise. Which makes sense. Jigglypuff is a freaking puffball. She expands and all that stuff. So I definitely understand that, and I definitely understand where you can make that assumption. However, with Venusaur, I mean, he's ugly as hell, my dude, and he looks like a damn frog. I've always looked at Venusaur and said, this dude is a frog. Now, the thing on top of him has always kind of thrown me off. I'm like, well, frogs don't have that kind of shit going on, but it's based off a very specific frog, and I don't have the research on that right now, but yeah, it's based off a specific frog, and that's why we see him hopping this way. Oh my god. I hope I don't get copyright for that. But, yeah, so you see him hopping. Me personally, I think it's cool as shit. I think it is cool as hell. Like, that looks like how Venusaur would move. Now, there could be references maybe in the anime. I've never seen Venusaur run in the anime that I can think of. So, if there's an argument there, please let me know. But, otherwise, I don't see how else he'd move. And he's keeping up. So, yeah, I mean, Venusaur is a damn frog. There wasn't any other controversy when it came to walking animation. It's just Venusaur, so that's just kind of my thought on it real quick. But Golem was seen rolling around behind the trainer, which is really cool. And there's a variety of different ones on here. I don't know if the Japanese account posted all of them. Let's take a quick look. If they have... Oh, here we go. Is this the whole thing? No, that's a pin tweet. Let's see if they posted it on here. What is this? Man, I am really trying not to get hit with any type of... No, that's just Venusaur. Walk away. I thought they posted Golem too. So there was Golem, there was Electro, there was Onyx. They were showing some ride stuff. But yeah, you guys can find it. It's on YouTube. It's been posted all over the internet. So if you haven't seen it already, go ahead and take a look. But that's really all I have for today, guys. That's the update where we're at with Pokemon news. We should be getting more Pokemon Let's Go news this coming week, I should say, or early the following week, because typically the middle of the month is when this type of stuff comes out. Now, like I said, they may start hammering the cycle hard and giving us news every 2 weeks. Hopefully that's the case. If not, that may start in September, October, closer to when the games are coming out. So if you guys have any questions for me, please let me know. I have like tons of answers, and I've been following this very, very well, and I'm very well informed on what is in these games and what is not in these games. So if you guys have any questions for me, please let me know. If you have any comments on any of the things we talked about, let me know in the comment section below. Please like this video, dislike this video. If you dislike this video, please let me know why. Otherwise, I can't make it better. So it's just a random dislike for no reason. So just dislike it, let me know, and share this video, guys, and we can get the conversation going. So I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. Nido17, I am out. Deuces.